2027 election will be the freest and the fairest election in the history of Nigeria. In fact, it will be more free and fair than the 1993 election involving MKO Abiola. It will be the most free and fair election in the history of Nigeria. Here's why. It will not be because of the activities of INEC. Yeah, they may improve, they may not improve, but it will not be because of that. It will be because we as Nigerians have finally identified where the problem of election rigging is in Nigeria, and we have taken steps to correct it. And we took that step in good time. Why would the 2027 election in Nigeria be the most free and fair? What is the real problem that we have identified and that we have corrected that will make the 2027 election to be the freest and fairest election in Nigeria's history? Here it is. You will all agree with me that as far as the Electoral Act 2022 is concerned, election at the polling unit is not the problem. Apart from a few polling units here and there where there are electoral violence, the vast majority, over 90%, 95% of all the 176,000 polling units in Nigeria, the results are actually credible. When votes are counted, the results are declared, it's actually credible. The problem now is, if you look at, and there is a gap between the results that are declared in the polling unit and the results that are announced after the final collation, that gap, it may be 2 days, it may be 3 days. As the results travel from the polling unit to the ward collation center, from the ward collation center to the local government collation center, to the state collation center, and up to the national, you see that gap, which usually takes days. That gap, that is where the magic of rigging happens. And that is where the distrust in the electoral result takes place. In fact, the longer that delay, the more perfect the manipulation, and the more difficult it is for anybody to prove any irregularity or otherwise. So this is what we have identified, and this is what we have decided to commit our life to make sure we correct. We have created the solution, and the solution is available. What we are doing now is just creating awareness to get more Nigerians to key in so that we can have a Nigeria that works for all of us. If the election results, as they are released from the polling unit, don't forget, and this is critical now, let me take a small digression. Right now, the Senate and the House of Rep are amending the Electoral Act 2022 to make transmission of results to IREV in real time mandatory. Note, transmission of election results from the polling unit to IREV in real time, they are trying to make it mandatory. In fact, the Senate is delaying when the House of Rep has finished passing their own. Now, Nigerians are bearing on on the Senate to pass their own version, quickly harmonize with the House of Rep and give Nigerians the amendment. But here is one thing that the amendment does not cover that will still make elections in Nigeria a problem. Real-time election results collation. That's where the problem is. It's not in the transmission. Yes, mandate INEC to transmit results in real time. But what is the guarantee that what happened in 2023, where INEC did transmit polling unit results from the polling unit to IREV, but it was pictures of people sitting in toilets, it was pictures of tables, all manner of funny things. When they do that, who is held accountable? At the end of the day, you will still have a situation whereby the election results may go manipulated as usual, and people will just cry and they will say, go to court, and the distrust in the system will grow even more. And my fear, the voter apathy will also grow. In all of the amendments they are doing right now, there is no provisions for real-time election results collation, straight and direct from the polling unit. Now, if they don't do it, does it mean it cannot be done? It can. Right. Only INEC can officially declare winners of results in Nigeria. Only INEC has the constitutional and the legal powers to do that. But does that stop citizens from monitoring the results from the polling units to ensure transparency? It doesn't. In fact, from the INEC guidelines to the Electoral Act to the Constitution, they put a responsibility on the citizens of Nigeria to monitor and follow their votes in their polling unit. If all Nigerians then came up in a non-partisan way, right, to collate the result by themselves, because we all have human beings, we all have voters at all the polling units. If we train some of these voters or some Nigerians, yes, to submit their results to a parallel voter tabulation system, a people-powered one, right? An independently verifiable solution. If we did that direct from the polling unit, then that would be proper checks and balances for INEC. When they know that the result is already in the public domain, legally, yes, from the polling unit, legally, if they know this, they will be careful to do whatever abracadabra, or let me put it this way, they will be careful to guard the integrity of the system from unknown actors that may want to manipulate it in one way or the other. This is exactly why the 2027 election in Nigeria will be the most free and fair. It is because of Vote Watch. Vote Watch is a non-partisan solution to election rigging in Nigeria. It is a non-partisan solution, and it is an independently verifiable platform for real-time election results collation, straight and direct from the polling unit. What does this mean for Nigerians? It means that on election day, as the votes are counted from the polling unit, as the polling unit electoral officers officially declares results at the polling unit, Nigerians have it. Nigerians have it in a non-partisan way. In a non-partisan way. Let me ask you a question. If the election of 2027 is free and fair, would it matter, or will you feel bad if anybody is declared as winner that is not your candidate? You won't. If the majority have their way and the minority have their say in a process that is seen to be free and fair, Nigerians will not bat an eye. Even the losers will congratulate the winners. It is the system that we should fight. We are not fighting individuals. Many people think it's about fighting individuals. So you see some, they are attacking Peter Obi. You see others, they are attacking Tinubu. Some are attacking Atiku. No, it's not about persons. It is not even about political parties. It is about systems. The earlier we, as people of Nigeria, set up our own way to make sure elections are free and fair, and the system is responsible to the people, and the people participate, they see something that can inspire them to come out and vote. As long as we do that, and politicians now see that the power truly belongs to the people, they will come out and do the right thing when they are elected. So don't make this about persons. Don't make this about political parties. Make this about the system. We are trying to build and correct a system of impunity. Remove the impunity and put rule of law. If you're a Nigerian and you are not supporting Vote Watch, I don't know what they do you, but But don't expect that Nigeria is going to change without a solution like this. Remember, it is non-partisan. It's not about support for any individual candidate. It's about we Nigerians, we the people, taking power back from the cabals and giving it back to ourselves as the citizens of Nigeria. The link is in the description. Join us for Vote Watch. Let's make 2027 elections in Nigeria truly the most free and fair elections in Nigeria's history.